All right, now we're going to take a look at what's called the G box. It's in the key of A. Remember, we haven't moved from the key of A. But what we're doing is we're playing a chord that, well, if I was to play a G shape here, we call this the G shape or the G box, okay? There's your G shape, but notice it's way up here at that 4th fret. And if I was to actually try and play a whole bar chord like that, it would be kind of tough to play. But we're not using the cage system to play bar chords or chords for that matter at all. We're using this sort of as a guide to where we put our fingers. So I want you to think of any time you're playing this shape of a chord. It's called the G shape. Now, in the key of A, the G shape is going to be at your 2nd fret area here. Okay, this is where your first finger is, and that's why we're calling it the 2nd fret area. So in this G shape, and this is going to be important because when we transpose to the key of E, I'm going to be talking about these shapes, and you're going to see this all come together. But for now, just know that this is the G shape in the key of A. 2nd area, 2nd position. Let's take a look at the notes that we can play in this shape. First off, we're going to have our we have our E like we did before. We have a G, and there's our A note. There's our root note. Now we have our C, D, E, G, and A. Now, I'm using my 3rd finger here. You can use your pinky, but for playing lead, I tend to like to use my 3rd finger here. And with my right hand again, I'm going to be alternating or playing with just one finger, so it's up to you as to what you want to do with that. Now, we added a C sharp note in our last. C, C sharp, D, E, and we could add that F sharp in there. And then, so there's all the notes that we can use, and let's put in one more note that we didn't put in the last time, a B. And I'm going to play some licks now in this area, and you're going to hear me adding in some of these other notes. So again, we're going to be putting this in the 2nd, in the 3rd and 4th bar of our blues song, 2 measures long. So here's one little lick that would work nicely. Now, what's going on here is I'm starting off on my E, and then I'm coming in on my F sharp. So I got that F sharp there. So C, B, A. And now what that'll work kind of nice. And why don't we just do something else with that too? Now here I'm adding that. I'm working my way up. E, F sharp, G, A. C. Do that little thing. Now you notice I'm also getting a little vibrato in there. I put that in all the time. I don't even realize half the time I'm putting it in. But a vibrato is sort of adding that little spice to your playing. Now, the way I get that, and it takes some practice to get that, is I'm just really kind of, I'm almost using I'm putting this part of my fleshy finger against the fingerboard here, and I'm sort of like shaking my hand back and forth, which naturally pulls my finger. If I just exaggerate it over here, it naturally pulls my finger. Now you can also just use your finger and just do this. It's a little tougher to do that, but that's one little lick. One of the other licks that I really like doing is something that what Lightning Hopkins would do. It's a great lick. So let's talk about what's going on here. I'm really kind of starting this lick from an E flat note, and I'm sliding very quickly with my third finger on the second string, like that. And it's all in one motion. In other words, I'm pinching the fifth string and hitting the second string at the same time, and sliding. So we call this a grace note. And then I'm hitting the G note. Now you can also do this as a double stop. You can hit this double stop, meaning that you're playing two notes at the same time. Now you can do that with your first and second fingers, or you can do that just strumming up. Either way, that kind of works nice. That's a nice little lick to be putting in. Now here I'm adding the C, B, F sharp. That's a nice little. Now, a note that we haven't put in yet is the E flat. And that's a really nice little note by itself. But when you use it as a passing tone, in other words, you're just going right by it. It works real nice like that. Now they got that. We're doing double stops, and then working our way down. So, kind-hearted woman. Oh, I promised I wouldn't sing, but doing anything in the world for me. Got a kind-hearted woman. Do anything in the world for me. Here I'm just adding in that little C note and into the A. Now, it gets really fun when you combine this and some notes back here. Watch this. Let's talk about that, because now we're putting in a double stop and a triplet. And then we're going to slide back into our A shape. That's a nice little lick to put in. And again, works really, really nice, and that's a real Lightning Hopkins move. can even slide both of them. Get that type of motion in there as well. So these are some little fun little licks that you can be playing in this G position. In our next instructional movie, we're going to be talking about the E position. Remember, key of A. So this is the A shape right in here and the G shape right in here. We'll be doing the E shape next.